Welcome to the Secrets of the Bible channel. Imagine the following situation: two daughters feeling helpless and without any prospects for the future. In an act of desperation, they decide to get their own father drunk in order to have sex with him. On the first night, the oldest daughter follows through on the plan by sleeping with her father while he is drunk and unaware of what happens. The next day, the youngest daughter, following the same plan, also sleeps with her father after getting drunk again, ensuring that both of them conceive. The children of this incestuous union would be born into one of the most conflicted peoples in the Bible. However, this nation would be of extreme importance to the lineage of Jesus Christ. It seems confusing, but I will explain this whole story according to what is written in the Bible. Sit back, click the like button, and let's go to the video. The Moabites. The story of the people who seduced and destroyed Israel. The Moabites were a people descended from Moab, the son of Lot, born from an incestuous relationship with his eldest daughter. Despite being close relatives of the Israelites, the relationship between these two peoples was marked by periods of peace and conflict. There were times in history when the Moabites managed to coexist peacefully with the Israelites, but on many other occasions they became fierce and relentless enemies. Moab, the product of Lot's incestuous union with his eldest daughter, shares his origin with Ben-Ammi, another son of Lot, born from a similar relationship with the younger daughter, becoming the ancestor of the Ammonites. This pattern of immorality within Lot's family was, in a way, mirrored in a dark episode of Israelite history where morality was put to the test. In Numbers, chapter 25, we read how the sons of Israel fell into temptation and were seduced by the daughters of Moab, revealing that the seeds of immoral behavior sown generations earlier continued to influence future events. The meaning of the name Moab is shrouded in mystery, but some scholars suggest that it may mean, "for my father." If this interpretation is correct, the name would be a grim reference to the manner in which Moab was conceived. However, this hypothesis remains speculative, as there is no definitive evidence regarding the origin and etymology of this name. Starting from the text in Genesis, chapter 19, the name Moab is mentioned several times in the Bible, but never again as a reference to a specific person. Instead, the name comes to designate the territory and people of Moab, the Moabites, who would become a distinct nation often in conflict with the Israelites. This transformation of a personal name into a collective designation reflects the complexity and evolution of biblical narratives, where individual figures often give rise to entire peoples whose stories intertwine in intricate ways over time. Moab was a land situated on a high plateau east of the Dead Sea, approximately 1,000 meters above sea level. This region was highly suitable for agriculture, with abundant production of grains, cereals, and grapes. Additionally, sheep farming played a crucial role in the local economy. The extent of the land of Moab varied according to political and historical events. Generally, the southern border of Moab was located in the Zerd Valley, while the northern border extended from the Arnon River, although at times the northern limit was uncertain and fluctuating. It is likely that this region had been inhabited since very ancient times. The descendants of Moab settled there and, over time, intermarried with the local populations. Eventually, they became the dominant people of that area, and the name Moab came to designate not only the territory but also its entire people. Behind this history lies the dynamics of a fertile and strategic land, whose inhabitants, shaped by cultural and political interactions, left an indelible mark on the region's history. The rise of the Moabites reveals how a group can emerge and establish itself in a constantly changing geographical and political landscape. Moab becoming synonymous with a land that flourished under their hands. Moab was a notable kingdom, with a solid economic structure and impressive architectural achievements. Its social and military organization was reflected in its fortifications, small fortresses strategically positioned along the borders, reinforcing its defense and territorial control. The Moabite villages and cities, highlighting the importance and continuous presence of this people in the region. For a long time, the Moabites enjoyed considerable prosperity, expanding across the plateau and conquering various surrounding areas. Their influence extended to the north, and their relationship with the Ammonites, their closest relatives, is well documented. By the time of the exodus of the people of Israel, Moab was already recognized as a significant power. The Bible, in Exodus 15 verse 15, references the strength of the Moabites, underscoring their dominant role in the region. This status of power and influence reflects the Moabites' ability to maintain and expand their dominion, leaving a significant mark on ancient history. The religion of the Moabites shared many similarities with Canaanite paganism, reflecting a deep devotion to nature and fertility cults. Their rituals included practices considered impure, with a particular emphasis on the worship of various pagan deities. Among these, Astarte, the goddess of fertility, and Balpeor were venerated. However, the principal deity of the Moabites was Chemosh, the god of war. Chemosh was undeniably the national deity of the Moabites, to whom sacrifices of sheep and oxen were made. In addition to these animal sacrifices, The Moabites also practiced human sacrifices as offerings to their god, a particularly dark aspect of their religion. The relationship between the Israelites and the Moabites is complex and multifaceted, as recorded in various biblical passages. The Bible recounts periods of friendly coexistence and economic and cultural exchange between the two peoples. In a notable episode, Moses was forbidden by the Lord to attack the Moabites, signaling a temporarily peaceful relationship. However, the stance of the Moabites and Ammonites toward Israel was not always friendly. When the Israelites left Egypt, the Moabites did not offer hospitality. This hostility led to divine reproach, with God condemning the Moabites and Ammonites for opposing Israel. Thus, the relationship between these peoples was marked by a delicate balance between cooperation and conflict, reflecting the complexity of ancient interactions in the region. Additionally, Balak, the Moabite king, sought to challenge the people of Israel in a more insidious way by hiring the prophet Balaam to curse them. This attempt to curse Israel took place while the Israelites were camped on the plains of Moab, about to cross the Jordan River. During this time, the Israelites engaged immorally with Moabite and Midianite women, also participating in their idolatrous practices. This behavior was considered so severe that it was ordered for the Israelites involved to be excluded from the congregation. The Bible mentions that after Moses' death, he was buried in an unknown location within the land of Moab. The following period, under Joshua's leadership and during the era of the Judges, God allowed the Moabites to oppress the Israelites due to their disobedience. This oppression lasted for 18 years under the rule of King Eglon until God raised up Ehud, a left-handed man, to deliver the people of Israel. During the time of the Judges, the story of Elimelech and Naomi also intertwined with Moab. They migrated to Moab with their family due to a famine in Israel, and their sons married Moabite women, Orpah and Ruth. After the deaths of Elimelech and his sons, Naomi and the young widow Ruth returned to Bethlehem. Ruth's faith was remarkable. She married Boaz and became the great-grandmother of King David. Thus, Ruth, a Moabite, became a crucial figure in the genealogy of Jesus Christ, demonstrating how even those from unexpected backgrounds can play significant roles in God's divine plan. During the monarchy in Israel, King Saul undertook military campaigns against the Moabites, defeating them in several battles. When David was forced to live as a fugitive, he sought refuge for his parents in Moab, seeking safety for his family while he faced his own adversities. Later, David also subdued the Moabites, consolidating Israel's dominion over the region. After Solomon's death and the subsequent division of the Kingdom of Israel, the Moabites regained their independence. However, this independence was short-lived. During the reign of Omri, father of Ahab, Moab was again subdued by Israel. After King Ahab's death, the Moabites rebelled and managed to free themselves from Israeli control. However, the peace was short-lived. When King Joram of Israel, King Jehoshaphat of Judah, and the king of Edom formed a coalition to attack Moab, their offensive was dramatically interrupted. The Moabite king, in a desperate and heinous act, sacrificed his own son on the altar, leading to an unexpected outcome. This shocking sacrifice and the divine reaction that followed resulted in the withdrawal of the coalition forces, aborting the campaign against Moab and highlighting the complexity and intensity of the relationships between these ancient peoples. Later on, the Moabites, Ammonites, and Edomites formed a confederation to attack the kingdom of Judah. However, an unexpected internal conflict among these peoples led to their own self-destruction, thwarting their plans to attack Judah and providing temporary relief for the kingdom. The kingdom of Israel also suffered from raids carried out by the Moabites, particularly towards the end of the prophet Elisha's period. In the mid-8th century BC, the Moabites were subdued by the Assyrians and became part of the Assyrian Empire, paying tribute to the great empire. After the fall of Syria, the Moabites appear in the biblical narrative as part of the army that invaded Judah during the reign of Jehoiakim. However, their involvement in a conspiracy against Babylon led to severe retaliation. King Nebuchadnezzar, enraged by their betrayal, attacked the Moabites with force, reimposing his dominance over the region and reaffirming Babylonian power over Moab. Even after the fall of the Babylonian Empire, the Moabites remained under Persian influence. In the post-exilic period, they are still mentioned in historical sources as a distinct group. However, over time, the Moabites intermingled with and were eventually completely assimilated by Arab groups until they practically disappeared as a distinct entity. Everything that happened to Moab, including its eventual destruction, was prophesied by the messengers of the Lord. If you found the history of the Moabites interesting, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your comment. Become a member to receive our videos early and support the channel with a symbolic amount, helping us continue to bring content and studies of the scriptures to you. God bless you, and see you soon.